Hey everybody, what's up? So today guys, I'm going to show you how to initialize a new disk when you connect it to an existing system and test the speeds of that disk. I recently picked this up new off of Amazon. Affiliate link is down in the description below. I went with this model and the 500 gig. Eventually this is going to be put into another system and replace an existing drive in there. So, but what I'm going to do today, like I said, I'm going to show you how to initialize it because a lot of people will connect a new hard drive to an existing system and they will come here to their file manager or I'm sorry, file explorer, and they will not see it in here. So I actually have my hard drive connected to a hard drive cradle plugged into my system, and I am not seeing the new drive in here. And some of you may wonder about that. This is my primary. These two are backups, but the new 500 PNY is not being shown in there. So I'm going to show you how to initialize and get that going. And then I'm going to show you how to test the speeds. So again, affiliate link in the description below. Let's go ahead and minimize this. And again, I showed you this portion where we are just not seeing it in here. We should have, it should pop up as F or whatever we assign it, but nothing is shown in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to initialize a new drive. To do this, all you have to do is click your start and type disk management. And with Windows 11, it'll come up as something different, but it knows what you're talking about. Windows 10, I believe it should just come up as disk management. There are various ways to get to that, but I find this one the easiest. Let's go ahead and click and open that. Now, as you see, right when we get into disk management here, we have this pop-up asking you to initialize a disk. Now, it will ask you to select the disk, and this will be disk 4 because if you look here, I've got 3 disks, so it is showing as disk 4. And that's obviously the one that we want to select, but a lot of you might not understand this, so I'm just going to give you a little bit of information about this. Now, MBR, Master Boot Record, is an older partition style. It's compatible with old systems and it actually only supports like 2 terabyte drives, and you can only have a limit of 4 partitions on that drive. Now, GPT, which is the GUID partition table, that's newer and kind of more robust. It supports larger drives, way over 2 terabytes, and it allows more partitions. I don't think there's a max partition, but who wants to partition a drive in 80 ways? I mean, so that's not going to be a problem, but it allows more partitions. It's also more resilient to data corruption. So most modern systems and Windows versions, like from Windows 8 and up, fully support GPD. So if your system is UEFI based and you're not worried about like old Windows operating system compatibility, GPT is probably the one that you want to go with here. But if you're dealing with super old systems or you just need straightforward compatibility, Master Boot Record might be for you. So that's just a quick cut and dry deal on MBR versus GPT. So anyway, I'm going to just go ahead and leave it on GPT. And it is disk 4. It's the only one being recognized as a new one. So we're just going to hit OK. Now it will go through a little thing here. You might get a little bit of a pop-up. Let me see. It's probably doing something in the background. Let's scroll down here. Yep. It found it because the disk is a 500 gig. Windows report size is weird. So it initialized it. So you can go right in here again, but I'm guessing it's still not showing. So what you have to do with this is you have to right click on this and make sure you're on the right disk as well. Because if you do this to another one of the disks in here, you're gonna wipe everything out. So make sure that you're on the new disk. It was disk 4, 500 gig, we know that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna right click on this and we're just gonna tell it, give it a new simple volume. And it will tell you, hey, this wizard's gonna run, it's gonna do its thing here. So we're gonna click next. And then, yeah, it's about the same space. You don't alter this unless you wanna partition it, but we can do that later if we need to. So I just leave this at defaults. We're gonna hit next on this. Then we're gonna assign it a drive letter. I like the F drive because it coincides with what I have here, CDE. F makes sense to be next. So I'm just going to leave it as F drive, and I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And there's going to be a couple other things here. I mean, it's pretty simple. Choose whether you want to format this drive. We're definitely going to format the drive. Now you can choose your file system here. I just NTFS is fine for what we're doing. Like I said, right now it's just a secondary drive on an existing system, so NTFS is fine. You don't want to change the allocation size, and you want to give it a volume label. I don't like it to have a volume label, so I just take that out of there. And then I always tell it, yep, give it a quick format. So we're going to hit next on that. And it's basically telling you everything that you chose here. I'm fine with that. We're going to hit finish. Now, a drive this size doesn't take that long. As you can see, it's no longer grayed out like it was, and it shows online. So let's go ahead and open up our File Explorer again, and boom, we see the drive here. And it looks, it's accessible. I'm sure that it will take data just fine. It's a brand new drive. But like I said, we're going to see what this can do. So I'm done in disk management here, initializing that disk. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. Now, the other thing that we're going to do, I'm going to come back up to this. And I'm going to go down here. So this is saying exceptional performance offering up to 550 Mbps write and read. So we're going to put that to the test now. We're going to do something else first. We're going to take a look at the drive. Go ahead and download a program, and I can put the link down in the description, but I use Disk Info, Crystal Disk Info, and let's let that pop up here. Now we're going to look at the drive itself. And so here's all your drives here, but we're going to go right to the F drive. This is the new one. Power on count 2. One of those was me, and one had to be factory. 0 hours, so we can tell that this drive is new and has not been used. It gives a bunch of other stuff here, but health status is good. 33% makes sense. It's nice and cool in here. So yeah, it's looking good. I don't need anything else in here because everything's fine. So we'll go ahead and close Crystal Disk Info. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to use this here, and this is Crystal Disk Mark. Now, what we do in here, this determines how many passes you want to make on this. I don't want the drive to take forever, so I'm just going to tell it 1, and we're going to tell it to do just the 1 GIB of disk size testing. And then I'm going to choose the drive here. It's going to be F. And we're going to set it Mbps because if we look back over here, this is what it's telling us here. And so again, it's telling us 550 and 500 write speeds. 500 write speeds, 550 read. I believe that's the way I'm seeing it. So with that being said, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead. Once we have this set, we're going to test to see if we're getting these speeds here. And so we're putting it to the test. And so once you do that, once you set everything, we're going to click all. And it will start doing its thing, reading and writing. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this is not installed internally in this desktop computer. It is actually installed in a hard drive cradle, which is connected by USB 3.0. So if yours is connected like that, and you're getting a little bit slower than the 550 and 500 that it advertises, that's perfectly fine because USB 3.0 is not as quick as the SATA directly to the motherboard. So with that being said, like so far I'm seeing 460 and 417 for reads. I'm okay with that, only because it's connected to a cradle via USB 3.0. So I have no problem with that. So we'll go ahead and let this finish, and we'll see what it looks like when it's done here. Okay, guys, that actually didn't take long, maybe under a minute or so. So as you see, Our top read write speeds are 460 and 430. Again, I'm fine with that because it's connected to USB. I'm sure if I connected it internally, it would be a different story. Now, some of you may be wondering, well, why are these down here so low? So the reason for that is these top ones are the full read write, the drive speed. The bottom ones here kind of indicate or represent smaller file transfers and stuff like that. So, or OS usage like idle or something. So, it's nothing to worry about if these are lower because these don't represent the full speed of the drive, if that makes any sense. Anyway, guys, that is it. I just wanted to show you how to do that. Just how to initialize a new drive and then check to see if it's getting the speeds that you paid for. So anyway, guys, if this was helpful, you know the drill. Click the like button and think about subscribing for future content. Thanks, guys.